Welcome back to another episode of Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the business mistakes I've made in business over the last 17 years, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and not do them yourself.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. Today's lesson is a very interesting one, as I've made this mistake over and over again. You think I would learn, but it's something that's very easy to slip back into. Now, I consider myself a smart person. However, this particular area, a lot of you are doing the same thing. We all do this. And it's very important that we recognize it and stop it. And that is when things are going really, really well, what we tend to do is what? Celebrate. And sometimes we tend to take our eye off the ball. We tend to just let up a little bit. Look, business is a race. It is a marathon. However, it's important to run, and then take a short breather and run again. But when you're breathing and taking that rest, making sure that that momentum is still going. And when you need a break, somebody else is applying the pressure, applying the gas for you. You'd never, ever, ever want to let up for a second. Things are either moving forward or moving backwards. There is no keeping pace and keeping things even or just keeping it, in this middle ground. You're either growing or dying, moving forward or moving backwards, gaining momentum or losing momentum. Thomas Edison said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Well, I'm going to tell you here today, and maybe one day I'll actually be quoted somewhere in the world as coming up with the ninth wonder of the world. And the ninth wonder of the world is momentum. It is a force to be reckoned with, both when it's working in your favor and when it's not working in your favor. But what ends up happening is we put all this hard work in, we get this machine going, and all of a sudden things start happening. And then what do? We go, let me just take a breather. I've been working for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and finally I'm getting all this momentum, all this energy, all this activity, and I just need a break, and I get it. We've worked hard to get where we want to go, but if you let off just for a second, trying to get that momentum back is an absolute difficult process. It just isn't easy. Do not let up. Continue to apply the gas, continue to move forward. It happens all the time in sports. Look at the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. There's a great example. You went from being aggressive, running it down the field, passing it down the field, scoring points, and they almost went into this mode you could see of, okay, we have a lead, let's just protect it. Oh, please don't do that in your business. When things are going well, continue to push forward, push harder. Things will go forward faster and further when you have the momentum. When you need to step aside for a second, get somebody to fill in for you. We don't need to beat this concept to death, but understand when it's going well, continue to push. I think I've made my point. Question of the day. Where in your life, where in your business have you let off the gas? You've allowed the momentum to start to decline. It's just like a merry-go-round, right? When you're on the playground and you get that merry-go-round going, it's really tough in the beginning. You've got to push and push. But then once it's going, what do you got to do? All you got to do is stand there and with one finger, push it. And it works great. However, if it starts to slow down, you can't push it with a finger anymore. You've got to get behind it. You've got to use both hands and you got to start running again. Don't allow this to happen to you. I've allowed it to happen to me several times, but I'm getting better at recognizing it and keeping the pressure on. So identify those areas in your life where you've let off a little bit. You've let up. You've taken your eye off the prize. You've gotten a little comfortable, right? Things are going well. Get back in the game and start pushing. Get other members of your team to push forward for you. Every day, recommit to what your goals are. Recommit to what your objectives are. And make sure that day you get everything done that you said you'll get done. Finally, make sure someone is holding you accountable. Someone is there to tell you the truth. When you're doing well, great. But when you're off target, someone that's going to get in your face and say, look, you're better than this. You need to get back on the ball. You need to keep that momentum going. Come on, I'm rooting for you. Let's do this and not accept any of the excuses you might come up with. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.